Hello everyone, welcome back to a new and special video. But before I tell you a little bit more why it's special, I tell you a little bit what I'm doing here. I have here the feather, the shiny feather mold from MoldsandShapes. It's a wall art mold, and I already prepared one feather, and I'm taking you with me to prepare my second feather because I want to use two feathers. And I have here some gold, and the gold is from Etta Art. It's a metal powder, and I think, it gives a nice sheen when you brush it into the mold, and also for the feather in the centerpiece. I don't really know the name, how you call it in the center, but maybe you can help me. I think I asked already and some people answered, but I just simply forgot about it. Anyway, now I'm also taking a little glove, a little baby wipe, and I will clean where I have my, where I brushed a little bit too thick in the mold, so I have the lines as I want them to be, a little bit thinner. And I'm just doing this before I can start using my sponge to brush the color for the feather itself. So I'm busy with this for quite a while, but it's okay. And now I can take my sponge again. It's a makeup sponge, and I use some of the pressed mica. It's a chameleon pigment actually from Petra Jungblut, and it's called blue red. It has, it shifts from a bluish tone to a purple reddish tone, and it's very, very beautiful. I really like it very much. So this is what I'm doing, and I will show you in a bit the time lapse, because otherwise it's just taking too much time. So why is this video special? Because Petra Jungblut and myself, we are launching the new XL Cascade Pepple tray mold from MoldsandShapes. So there it is again. And Petra is doing her video tomorrow at 8 p.m. Or European time. And she's also having a live chat. So if you want to join her, please feel free doing this. I think she will be very happy. And what I'm doing now, I put some clear resin into the mold, and I want to see that I put my feathers into the mold, but upside down. So this is a challenge because of air bubbles and stuff like this. I made a very thin layer of clear resin. The resin I used here were the ultra cast resin, and I'm now spraying alcohol on one of the feathers, and I add my clear resin on top. So I hopefully avoid some of the air bubbles. What I didn't tell you or didn't show you, that I topped up my feather with some black pigment, so that I have my feather ready. But I guess you thought that already. Anyway, now the second one, I'm doing exactly the same thing. I'm just spraying some alcohol, isopropanol alcohol, and then a little bit of the clear resin, and then I can place also this feather into the mold. It's a very beautiful mold, and you can see how big this mold is. And if you are interested in this mold, just have a look on the website from MoldsandShapes, because they will have all the measurements in their web shop. So just have a look, and you can see how thick it is, how wide it is, etc., etc. It holds around about 750 grams of resin. So now I'm taking care for the air bubbles, which are maybe trapped at the edges. And then I can let it cure, and we see each other the next day when I do the second step, the second layer. And this the next day. I needed to put some light on, so that's why the light is a little bit different. And I mixed colors. The first color is Vio Blue from color berry. The second color is the seaweed from Petra Jungblut. Then I have the anthracite from Petra Jungblut and the Sahara gold dust from Petra Jungblut. And for my interference pearl, I have the color from Etta Art, the pigment. So these are my colors, and I want to do a sort of dirty pour. I just stir my colors a little bit more so I don't have any traces of the pigments on the bottom of my mold, so that it's looking a little bit strange. You know, it easily happens when you are not stirring your mica powders very well. So always make sure you do it. So these are my colors, and I start putting some clear resin on top of my feathers, just so that the bottom of the mold is covered, and then I can take care for my dirty pour, sort of dirty pour. So you see, I just scratch my jar, and then I just need to take care for any air bubbles. And I'm using here my heat gun very carefully so that I don't touch with the heat the mold itself, only the resin. So please be careful when you use the heat gun or the torch. And now I took my jar where I had my clear resin in, and I start layering my colors. So first is the pearl, then the second color, let me see, is the seaweed, then the pearl again, then I'm taking the anthracite, again the pearl, and then the gold, and then I'm using the pearl again, and the Vio blue. And finally the pearl again. There's only a little bit left, and then I can see that I just start pouring, and I'm pouring along the edges. So I'm very curious what the result is going to be, if there is some color coming out, and if it matches the feathers. So yeah, this is always something, you know, where you need to trust your feelings, and sometimes, yeah, you don't know what's gonna happen, especially when you use so many colors. And I used a lot of the interference pearl, so I have no idea what's going on. And then I mixed some more of the interference pearl because I didn't have any left. I had a little bit of clear resin left, so I just used it. And you see me mixing, I just use a little bit. I didn't measure it, as you see. I just take a little bit resin, I just take a little bit of the interference pearl, and make sure that I stir it very, very well. And the reason I did this with the interference pearl is because I still had space in my mold. So I thought I just use where the clear resin is still viewable, and I just pour some of the colors. First the interference, then I use the gold, doing the same thing, just pouring it wherever there's space and on top, so I don't waste any of the resin which are already mixed. And of course I'm hoping for some nice effects. It's logical. If it's gonna happen, I don't know, but we will see. And now there is the Vio blue, I think. Let me think. Or is this the anthracite? No, it's the Vio blue. And then there is the anthracite. Yeah. sometimes you need to think of what did you do, especially when a pour is some days ago and then you do your voiceover. So yeah, it's always a challenge. And this, I think, is still the seaweed. And now my mold is almost full. And this, I think I should have avoided. I put a little bit of clear resin into the center. I was hoping the center to be closed. I can already tell you the center will have this little peekaboo space, but I will see your reaction later when I demold it. But anyway, the resin is now moving. There's a time lapse, and I love the color shading on that side. I think it's awesome. It looks very natural, and this is what I like. So anyway, this is the next day and time for demolding, and I'm very curious how the whole thing is gonna look like. It pops out easily out of this mold, you see it. And let's have a look. Let's turn this baby over and let's have a look. So look at this. I need to admit, at the beginning I was very disappointed, especially with the hole in the center, but on the other hand, the hole and the effects are in the center. It looks like a feather. The crackling effect looks like a feather, and maybe it's good that not all the colors came out, that there are only a very light shading of the colors, because otherwise the attraction of the feathers would have been gone in this pour. That's what I think personally. I love the edge, and yeah, I just love this. Yeah, love this mold design. It's very beautiful, and I'm very happy with this. What I did off camera, I made a bowl, but I showed you so many times how I'm shaping my bowl, so I didn't I didn't tape this anymore. I hope you don't mind. And there's our Gary lying there. He's he has chosen this to be his favorite place, and here's the final result. I wonder what you really think about it. I like it very much, but it took me a couple of views, a couple of thoughts to say I really like it. So yeah, but now I'm very happy with the outcome, because I think the color scheme matches the feathers and doesn't take anything away from the feathers themselves. So yeah, I'm very happy, and I love the chameleon pigments. And here another view of the bowl. With this, I love and leave you. Please take a look at Petra's video tomorrow, and we see each other for my next video. Take care, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.